Heyo everybody, Haku here with my review of episode 9 of Taboo Tattoo, and this one was pretty much getting the animus Seigi. So, they pretty much, it's all BB's memories, presumably through the eyes or the sort of feeling of Seigi, since Wiseman is giving BB's memories to Seigi. So it's his memories of when he was a double agent within the kingdom, or kind of a double agent, maybe just a betrayed the U.S. for the kingdom, then betrayed the kingdom again to go back to the U.S. in a way because it was sort of his his own sense of justice. But pretty much we start out seeing BB fight against Cal, sort of like a test fight or whatever. It was like his test to get in, along with the information he supplied to them about the U.S. And the princess wants him in Brahmin, and we get to see like a littler, younger version of the princess. And the dress she was wearing and the way she looked was hilarious. I thought it was really funny, just like a cute little princess. But we also get to see Captain Ajita again, and we've only seen him like once. And he's the captain of Brahmin, so obviously a pretty strong dude, because Cal was a freaking monster and she was only the vice captain. So yeah, then we meet this dude named Varma, and we find out later that he is the king's spy and also the king's lover, which wasn't really expecting. The king has the same sort of thing going on that Arya does. But so yeah, sorry I keep getting like off track with this one. So we find out that BB's actually there looking for technology to destroy tattoos, and we find out a lot more about the kingdom finding tattoos and stuff. We we have him being warned by Cal, don't go near the Samsara, which we didn't really have any real build up for, which is a shame. It's a shame that the show's so rushed, because I think a lot of plot points would actually be very good if they were done with the pacing of a normal show, because this is just running incredibly fast. It's like a summary of a show. It's a summary of a story a lot of times. So if they would have taken more time with some of these plot points, I think if this episode was split apart over like 3 or 4 episodes, they would have been completely amazing. And even this episode alone is probably within the top 3 best episodes of this anime. Like, this was, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna hate on it just because I've said that a lot of episodes of this show in the past were very, very bad. I'm not gonna hate on it. This episode was definitely objectively pretty good. And then we see Ganesha, the blind and deaf guardian of the Samsara, and she fights against them, like pretty much just F's BB up almost instantly, and he heals up. Oh, one of the things I sort of breezed over, near the beginning we find out that the kingdom, of course, way more advanced in technology than America comes when it comes to the tattoos, and we found out that the kingdom actually has the ability to test for, like, if you can have the triggerless tattoo or anything, and that's how they found out that BB was able to get it from the Brahmin. But yeah, so he gets heft up. We see him go talk to the king with Varma, and we find out that the king also wants to try to figure out what Arya's plans are, but he doesn't know if he's going to stop her or not, or Varma doesn't know if the king's going to, because the king actually does love her as a daughter in a way. And we also find out that she's not his real biological daughter, which would make sense since he has a male lover. That it would make sense that he could still, of course, have a biological daughter, but it would make sense that he would likely not. And we also see that next BB is sent with Cal to guard some of the ruins from an American attack, and he doesn't want to kill anybody. He wants to take them all alive, because you know that's his thing. But Cal kills them all, and we get BB just all pissed off and angry because it was just a funny scene, because it seemed a little weird and awkward and off-kilter, where we just had this one like real quick sequence of him just getting angry because of the killing and how he doesn't like killing. So we actually get to see Eel joining Brahmin, and Eel's my favorite character in this anime, so I love that. It was so cute the way she couldn't read. So yeah, so Eel joined Brahmin, and after that we actually get to see Varma and BB fight Ganesha. take her down. She had a weirdly high-pitched voice, and infiltrate Samsara, where they're met by Kujuli, this apparent sister of the princess, and there are apparently just a fuck ton of them. And they're not really clones, they're more like sisters, because we find out later they were made by the sacrifice of just a clan of like 3,000 people, the remnants of the society that made the tattoos, but it was so long in the past, none of them had any knowledge of it or anything. But they got sacrificed and in a ton of human experiments, which included trying to breed a sort of interface device that could interface with the ruins and rewrite things with the tattoos. And of course, Arya is the closest to complete of those clones. I'm going to use clones for lack of a better word. And all the other sisters were produced with the same thing in mind. They just they don't have the real they don't have the ability to do it like Arya does. But we found out that most of them were abused and like they were treated as non-human, and Arya treats them well. So there are some that like her, some that even though they like her, they disagree with her hatred of humans because they feel like they should be treated as humans. So I get a really weird off-the-wall plot point, but I think it would actually be a really, really good plot point, like if I said it was split apart over a few episodes and really developed more. I think it would actually be, like, in a good story, you could see a plot point like this. So definitely nothing wrong there. I just wish they would have fleshed it out a little bit more. We also see a hilarious little cut to the princess's harem, and I thought that was hilarious as well. And when we're escaping, I think the next up is just the escape, isn't it? When we're escaping, Varma gets killed by Cal. It was funny too when Cal was on the phone with Kujuli, and the only thing BB gets out of the conversation they're talking back and forth is when he yells like, "I'm not a pervert." Like, of all the important and dangerous stuff in there, that's what he cares about. That was really funny. And I like too that they left it there. They didn't have a character say that's what he gets out of the conversation and like throw the joke in your face. They just let the joke hang there so that if you got it, it was funny. So I thought that was well done. I thought a lot of things in this episode were well done that most of the other episodes of this show haven't really gotten done very well. Also, there was a little bit of fan service in there, but it didn't really disrupt the plot any, so it was fine. Like I always say, fan service is good to add in just to give something a little bit extra to the fans if it doesn't disrupt any sort of actual plot. And that's why it's been bad in a lot of these episodes, because it has disrupted plot. But no, this episode perfectly fine. Didn't interrupt anything important or do anything bad, really. So that was fine, and BB actually brings Varma's corpse to the king, and convinces the king whatever, so the king's like, okay, go save this country. And then the ending scene was amazing, the way instead of the normal end credits, they used the BB fight sequence against Brahmin. Really, really awesome. The music was amazing. It just felt really, really good. It felt like something you would see in a much better show, honestly. But is why I don't want to hate on this, because even though a lot of episodes have been bad, a couple, like the first two episodes, this episode, are really objectively good episodes of a show. So I mean, can I really call the show bad as a whole when it has episodes that are good like this? So yeah, I loved the ending, and it's one of those where, like, I like when shows and stuff do it, where it gives you this ending where you're like, you're hoping for them to win, and like where it's something that happened in the past, so you're hoping for them to win, but you know that they're going to lose, kind of like the entire game of Halo Reach. I loved that, where like the whole time you're playing, you know that they're going to lose, but you're hoping that they'll win. That is, like, I don't know, I think that's a really good writing point that I enjoy seeing. So overall, like I said, production great, story great. I really loved Varma. I liked the concept that they went with here. The fan service didn't interrupt anything. I thought that the ending was amazing. I feel still that it was a bit rushed. I feel like if they took their time, like if this, instead of running for what I'm assuming to be around 12 episodes, if this show ran for 48 episodes, then it would be a great show. And we could have fleshed all this out in like 4 episodes, and it would have been so much better. But this was still really good, and I can't really fault it for very much other than being a bit rushed. So, because that's the only thing I can really fault it for, yet it also is an important thing, I'm giving this one 8.5 Blind Guardians out of 10. I really, shit ton of clones out of 10. I really can think of some more creative things for these sometimes. I swear sometimes I say it and I'm like, that wasn't creative at all. But 8.5 out of 10, whatever. Like, if you guys did like this video, comment down there and tell me what you thought of this episode and what you thought of my thoughts on it. I thought it was actually pretty good this week. Pretty damn good. Subscribe for more Taboo Tattoo, 91 Days, Fukigen to Mononoke, and One Piece, and a bunch more. Our waifu Carrot just debuted in the One Piece anime. Also follow on Twitter if you want, and I'll try to keep you updated there on when I post anything or push anything back. And that's it. So I'll see you all next time.